Welcome to Physics 151. I'm Lisa Knight and I'll be your instructor this semester. I wanted to give you a brief tour of the course. When you open up the course, you'll see the welcome page. You'll see a few links here at the top that are really important. First of all, every week you will have announcements telling you about, the grading of assignments, maybe sending out reminders. I usually send out at least one announcement every week, sometimes more than that in the summertime. And so it's very important for you to touch base with that every time you log in. You also have a link to the virtual office hours, which will be Thursdays 12 to 1 or by appointment, and you can contact my Google Voice number to do that. And then we have a couple of tutoring options for you, and we have the support links for the online homework we use and the online labs we use. The very first thing you're going to want to do is to complete the Getting Started activity, which is due on the 30th. You have to read through this, which you probably already are doing, and reading the syllabus. And I strongly urge you to read this course orientation. It's a book. It has several pages of information, and the enrollment assignment quiz will come straight from it and the syllabus. You will register for WebAssign, and you will register for Pivot Interactives. WebAssign and Pivot Interactives, you're available to buy the access codes from the bookstore. Pivot Interactives is actually a little bit cheaper if you buy it directly from the website, which is only $10 versus $15. And then you need to complete the enrollment assignment. And so the enrollment assignment is just a quiz. And once you complete that, then the rest of the course will open up for you. And please take some time to introduce yourself. And so you'll see in this course, there'll be a couple of AI chatbots that you'll be using to complete assignments. These have been created by me, and you are asked to interact with them, to get information from them, or to practice something with them. But this is the only AI that you're allowed to use. You're not allowed to use AI to generate your solutions or answers to essay questions, etc. in this course. You do not want to do that. But you do have a couple of forums where you are asked to interact with the chatbot, and this is something that I've written myself. And so it's a kind of a controlled environment. All right, once you get done with that, let's take a look at what a typical module looks like. And so I'm going to actually skip to Module 2. You'll notice that Module 1 is due right away on the 3rd of June. And so this is why it's really important for you to just get started in this course. This is a very fast-moving class. You want to make sure that you get on it and you don't get off the train, because, man, the train is a high-speed train for sure. Every module has the same structure. You have a list of things to learn from, and in particular, you have a link to your chapter that you need to read, and a link to the lab instruction video. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to watch this video. If you do not watch this, you are going to have a hard time with your lab. So you want to make sure that you watch the videos for the labs, because it shows you how to collect data, and it tells you basically the answers to a lot of the questions in the lab. So you want to do that. You will have some kind of homework. It'll either be a worksheet or a WebAssign homework. You will have a forum assignment, which is either discussing your lab or doing some kind of problem-based form. And then you'll have a lab, and the lab is in Pivot. So you will have teacher-made videos. I've made these videos, and I align them directly with the worksheets and the labs. And so it's really important for you to watch these and take notes, because a lot of the problems on the worksheets are done in these lectures. And the way that I model the problem solving is the way I want to see it done on the worksheets. You will have some review practice games that you can play, which are really helpful. And then you'll have your homework link. If it's a worksheet, it's a Google Doc, and you just literally open it up and you just make a copy of it And you can download it as a Word document. You can print it out and write on it, or you can type in it. But I do have to see the work in order to give you full credit. So when you're looking at the assignment, every problem on the worksheet is worth 10 points, and I'm telling you exactly what I'm looking for on that worksheet and what I'm going to give you points for. So you're going to want to make sure that you adhere to the grading rubrics. And then you'll have a link to the lab, which will take you to the lab in Pivot, and you will complete that once again. Watching that lab video is very helpful. And then you'll have a forum, and the forum usually has you either share your lab data and compare it to others, and that usually entails you taking a screenshot of your graphs and your data chart, and then talking about whatever the concepts were, whatever you're supposed to learn in that particular lab. And then you reply to two people constructively using your data as comparison. So we want to make this a very data-driven, evidence-based discussion, and it needs to be constructive. And you'll see the rubric here. Okay, so half of the lab grade, half of the form grade is your initial post, and the other half is your replies. And so every module has kind of the same format. You will see that there are some homeworks that are just directly in WebAssign, and so you'll just go and do the work in WebAssign, and then I'll upload the grades myself if they don't upload properly. And then the labs, I always go into Pivot and I grade those, and then I give you feedback inside Pivot, and then I manually update the grades in the grade book. And then as far as the final for this, well, the course has a mandatory exam. And so in Module 6, you'll be able to sign up and tell me which of the possible dates for an online review work best for you. And that'll be in Module 6. And then I will plan a review day, an online review for you to attend. I really would like you to attend. It'll be extra credit for you to attend, but it'll be an opportunity. And I'll also have an additional office hour for you to come in and ask questions as you prepare for the exam. But the exam is going to have a time limit to it. It will have 35 multiple choice that are taken from the concept quizzes that you have in this class. And we'll have 4 problems similar to the worksheet problems in labs, where you have to actually show all your work, draw vector diagrams, round answers to 3 sig digs. And so this is why you have these worksheets in the class, to give you practice that, because this is half of your grade on the exam. And you have 2 hours to do it. And it'll be open all day on the 21st of July, not September. I need to change that. And all the other modules will be closed out at that time. So you will want to make sure that you are prepared, have everything that you need to take that exam. First of all, I really want to iterate that you do have opportunities for extra credit in here. Attending the online review is one way. But in modules 1, 3, 5, and 7, there is a short reflection that you can participate in at the end of each module. 3 to 4 sentences is telling me how things are going. This is a great time for you to say, Miss Knight, I am completely lost, let's meet. Or, I love this module, it's great, thank you, I love the videos, or I thought this was really helpful, or next time it might be better if you add some of this to the module, that would be helpful to me. So it's a great time for you to give me some really good constructive feedback as well. And I always answer them, and you get a point for each one of those. So you could get a total of 5 extra credit points. And if the test is 50 points, then that would be a 55 out of 50, which is 110. So you can actually earn up to almost 10% onto your final exam, which is required. If you do not take it, you will fail the class. So it is required, and it is also 30% of the grade. So If you have any questions, just reach out to me because I am here for you and I care about your success. That is my main thing here, and I am excited about the semester. Have a wonderful day.